My name is Shawn Ashley Davis. I'm a senior at Forest County Agricultural High School in Mississippi. And on October 31st, 2009, two people who were very close to me and the ones I loved died in an instant. Was it a car crash? No. It was an oil tank explosion. Why? How? We wanted answers, we wanted the truth, and now we want to make a difference.
About life a lot.
I played football, did I?
Wade and I hung out every day.
The oil well site, nobody even thought that would actually happen.
It hit our school pretty hard because we all knew one or both of them.
I didn't really want to believe it. I was too shocked.
It's still kind of hard, and you don't understand why it happened.
At the oil sites, we just sometimes build a fire, just hang out.
When my dad told me, we didn't know they could blow up.
You know, I would have known. I definitely wouldn't be hanging around them.
I can't believe he's gone. It's like, I don't even think it's hit me full front yet. It just doesn't feel right without him here. We just lost two very good friends. And none of us knew the dangers of the oil sites until that happened.
Wade was my boyfriend ever since my freshman year 2 years ago. We had started talking and we've been dating on and off since then. I did not know tank sites were dangerous before this accident. We used to hang out there all the time and go do whatever down there.
When we go hang out at an oil site, you know, a bunch of friends and I, we just usually, you know, go get a pack of cigarettes or something and talk about what has been going on through the week. It's like our own little sanctuary where we can just be away from everybody.
I do love you.
I love you too.
You too, Jeremy.
You too, Mom and Dad.
I'm Philip White. I'm the father of Wade White, who was tragically killed October the 31st in a tank explosion right here just outside my yard in South Forest County. Wade was just a wonderful child. I mean, who would have thought 18 years ago when he was just a little baby that 18 years later that we'd be going to his funeral. And he struggled in school academically, but I mean, he toughed it out and actually graduated. He always told me, Daddy, don't worry, I'm going to amount to something. And, you know, but obviously this cut that short, you know. But just such a wonderful, two wonderful children just gone instantly.
This picture was taken in August or September before Devin died. We were down at the lake one afternoon looking at the geese. I had my camera out. He looked over at me and didn't really want his picture taken, but that little smile that's on his face was so typical of him. Football was really important to Devin. He enjoyed being on the team. Devin was buried in his jersey, and the entire football team served as honorary pallbearers.
I can't wait till after school. I'm really looking forward to go talking to the sheriff, getting some questions answered. I've got a lot on my mind.
I don't think these are bad kids, and I don't think these are stupid kids. I think this was an accident. Except for the grace of God, my son could have been there. And my son, I can tell you, as well as I know my son, would have not balked at a moment about going down there. So it caused me to go home and hug my child and talk to him about these sites down in south end of the county.
Why do you think people don't understand the dangers of these sites?
Probably they're not educated to the fact that they can be dangerous. I think most of the time that kids hang out at those places is usually located in close proximity to where they live. It's just a common gathering place. I mean, what stops you from it? If you haven't ever been told that you shouldn't or that it's dangerous.
What kind of laws would you like to see passed to regulate the oil well sites?
You should have some kind of barrier and some kind of signage that indicates that this is a dangerous place to be. Not having any barrier at all, to me, just invites an accident.
If these accidents have occurred in the past, why hasn't anything been done to prevent them?
I think that's a great question. I'd like somebody to answer that question for me.
Today we're going to talk to David White, and we would like to find out the science behind this hazard for Penn, if he can tell us.
We make a list in our magazine of major incidents that occur in fires and explosions. And my editor came to me one day and he said, "Do you know how many kids have gotten killed around these old oil well sites?" And I was amazed. It was like 30 or 40 just on one list, which is a lot.
Can you explain the science behind this hazard?
Okay, I think I can better illustrate this by drawing you a picture. Now, we've got a tank out here that looks something like this. And what you have here is you have crude oil. Now, that could be 6 inches. It could be completely full to the top. Now, above the crude oil, which is liquid, you have vapors. Now, if the vapors are mixed with air correctly, you have what we call a combustible or a flammable vapor space in that tank. You've got a hole in the top of the tank called a hatch, and that opening is where the vapors come out. The vapors, again, don't burn because you have to have fuel, which we have. You have to have air, which you have. Now, what's missing is a spark. That spark can come from somebody with a big lighter. They can have a match. There's some other ways they make sparks. And when that happens, you get an explosion inside this tank. And just remember, guys, tanks like this with crude oil will burn, they will explode, and they can kill you. And I don't want to see some young man or young lady get killed or burned horribly. And that's what we want to do, is prevent these things.
Now, this is the site where the accident happened, and you see how easy it is to walk from my house to it, just virtually, like I say, 100 yards right here. You can see this is very unsecured. There's no gates, no fences, no signs. There's nothing to say there's danger here at this site. The tank was sitting right here beside this tank, and when the explosion happened, it blew that tank 60 yards out there. This is exactly where their bodies was laying. The little 16-year-old Devin was laying right here face down, and my son was laying right here face down. You know, this is the last place that my son actually took a breath of life. He was probably dead by the time he got here. It was blown 40 yards from there to here. And what a wonderful, wonderful son, what a wonderful life, just wasted and gone. You know, so tragic. And it's so preventable. It's such a simple little thing, such as fences, gates, and signs, could certainly prevent this accident.
After this incident occurred, the next day I started looking into, who actually regulates this industry, and a lot of this is kind of a gray area, so maybe that needs to be looked at further.
Do you think any laws will be passed to make them secure these sites?
I certainly hope so. That's a long process, and it's got to start somewhere, and the grassroots level is where it starts. So we have to keep that in front of the public. We have to make sure that you people, the people who live around there, are aware of the danger. It's unfortunate these two young people lost their lives. Their whole life was ahead of them, and now they're not with us. But, if their lives could at least bring better awareness to the young people, they're the ones that really need to know that this is not a place you just go to hang out. So if that could be brought to the attention, then all this would certainly be worthwhile.
Even though that there aren't signs and stuff, I hope that now people will realize that these are dangerous places.
These tanks are dangerous and they can hurt you. And they're not just a cool place to hang around. They're not fun. They can kill you.
It's a secluded place. It's isolated off from everybody else. You can go out there and you can do things that you shouldn't be doing, and I know that's what they're doing. But it's not worth it. It's not worth going out there and you know, losing your life over it.